All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of my Christmas Day IRL event. What I'm doing is basically recapping the events of 2017 for you so you know exactly how my year went and how this was the most tumultuous year of my 35-year life. Um, Again, I want to say thank you to those who have cheered, subbed, and tipped. An update, we are now up to 322 subscribers, the most I've ever had on my Twitch channel, a record right now. So, thank you very much, guys, for your support. Seriously, again, if that tip from before was real, wow, thank you. A couple quick shout outs to do in order to before we continue here. YOLO Dopper did a 10-bit cheer and he says, "Do you think that the trolls had a bigger effect on your relationship or was it the financial situation?" By the way, I'm going to be sipping on hot tea to help my throat. Honestly, both, because you guys don't realize it's the same. The trolls caused the financial situation. Like, when I moved out here in 2014, I was making a certain amount of money, okay? Yes, it went down when YouTube changed all their algorithms, and therefore my videos stopped showing up in related videos or whatever. But it wasn't until mid-2015 when the false copyright strikes forced me to remove videos from YouTube, all those pre-streams that were using fan art, that my YouTube channels completely plummeted, and I no longer got any natural, organic viewership from YouTube. Instead, it was just my hardcore fans watching my stuff, and that was it. So every year, I would get, especially at the end of the year, I would usually get a giant spike in views just from people searching for the new games. I didn't even show up in YouTube search anymore in 2015 because I had to delete those videos because of the false copyright strikes. So the trolls caused the financial difficulties. Now, the trolls also swatted me, DDoS attacked me, attacked my ex or my girlfriend at the time, I guess I should say, everywhere. It was constant. It was literally constant abuse. Everywhere we looked, there was abuse everywhere. And every opportunity that I had to do something positive, they would attack. Like I said, I'm going to move to a new partnership company, attack the company. So now I can't be partnered with them anymore. It was like my whole life was permeated with negativity from this element, from these fucking people who literally made it their life's dedication to hurt me and my girlfriend at the time and my family and everyone around me. For what? What did I ever do? So the answer to your question is both, because the trolls caused the financial situation. Yes. Have I made bad financial decisions? Absolutely. But I would never be in the situation I'm in right now financially if it weren't for the trolls completely destroying my YouTube business. That's the bottom line. My YouTube business was destroyed by troll activities between the years of 2015 to 2016. It's just fact. Okay. Now, Soup GG did a 19-bit cheer and said Death Grips is online with a bunch of Kappa faces. Okay, I don't even know what that means. Boomhauer8606 subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Boomhauer, for the sub. And then he tipped $10. He said, "Merry Christmas, Phil. Sorry, I keep forgetting to resub. I don't get on Twitch much. Thank you not only for the resub, but for the tip. Very much appreciated, Boomhauer. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Jack Spartacus also did a 15-bit cheer. Thank you, Jack Spartacus, for the cheer. Okay, so now we can continue with my story, folks. All right. So, mid-2017. Behind the scenes, things have fallen apart. I've broken up with my girlfriend of 5 years, my fiance of a few weeks, who then I broke up with. But to the face of everyone, right? To what you guys are seeing, everything's going good. I'm trying to put on this happy face every day, all right, to the public, even though behind the scenes I'm depressed, I'm drinking, I'm not doing well, all right? I wasn't. My whole schedule was fucked up. I couldn't fall asleep anymore. I was up till 5, 6 in the morning some days and then getting up at like 10, 11 to work. And I was drinking at night, which isn't good. I was basically in a real bad place, all right? So all this is going on. And then, randomly, I meet someone. And I'm not going to give you guys the details, all right? I'm just not going to give you any personal details or whatever about how any of this stuff came to fruition, because you know what's going to happen. The more information I give is the more fuel for the assholes and the more that they'll try to hunt down personal information and hurt me. I'm not going to give you any personal information. What I will tell you is this. Over the summer of 2017, I met someone. Now, this person was someone who I just started talking with on a daily basis. I was going through a really tough time. Incidentally, she also was going through a really tough time. We were both going through really personally, really bad things in our lives at the time. And what ended up happening was we ended up kind of being there for each other at a time when I was incredibly vulnerable and lonely, and she was going through stuff, and I was able to help her, and she was able to help me. All right. And initially, that's really just what it began as. And then what we ended up finding out as we talked more is that we pretty much had a ton in common when it came to our personal lives, but also our pasts and stuff like that. We had both been through a lot. And we were both people who were looking for something way different than what we had previously had in regards to companionship. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out how I can tell you guys, again, without revealing any personal info. Basically, over the course of this year, all right, what started as just like a friendship budded into something else, into me finally getting to spend some time with this woman. And, after spending personal time with the woman, having an amazing time and realizing we really clicked, we really got along in person, to the point where now, and for, I'd say probably for the past 4 or 5 months, we're constantly talking. We're constantly in contact, supporting each other. She has done things for me and said things to me that no one else ever has before. I really feel, and I'll be honest with you, not to say a 5-year relationship is nothing, but this woman, out of anyone I've ever been with in my life, dated, I feel like we're soulmates. Now, some of you may not understand that if you've never been in that situation. But sometimes you just meet someone and there's so much right going on when you're together and or when you talk, right? And not to say that we're perfect people and we're absolutely the perfect match, because I don't think anyone is. On this planet, I don't think you're ever going to find someone who 100% you're compatible at all times, and you know what I mean? That's not what it's about. Actually finding someone who you work with means that you find a perfect balance. Maybe this person has attributes and traits that you don't, but maybe you have a lot of commonalities as well. And when you two come together, you become kind of a perfect mesh. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel right now. Now, this is someone who I started talking with over the summer. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to spend 3 really nice long visits with her, and or a few other things in between, but she doesn't live here. So it's not someone who I can every day go see. And that's the worst, is when you have a long distance relationship, and especially you have a really bad day and you really need that support and that person can't be physically there for you. That is huge. But, we're toughing it out and we're finding a way out, especially, when we're not together. Like I said, this morning, the first thing I did when I woke up is I talked to my girlfriend. And it feels so different. It really, honestly, feels different than any other relationship I've ever been in. It feels to me like she gets me and I get her. You know what I mean? Rather than, it's just someone I like to spend time with. It's more like an actual, like I said, soulmates. That's how I feel when I think about her. All right? And, it's funny because some people have said this year, some people have said this year that, wow, Phil broke up with his ex-girlfriend of 5 years and immediately jumped into another relationship, and now he's rushing it. Now he's talking about having this girl move in with him. How ridiculous. It's obvious that he's just, he's rushing in, blah, 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 blah. The truth of the matter here, folks, again, is that I broke up with my ex-girlfriend in April. All right? So we're talking, there was a good 2-3 months where I wasn't talking to anybody. And then I met this girl randomly. It was chance that it was literally a chance, complete randomness. I wasn't looking for anyone. She wasn't looking for anyone. It was just like circumstances somehow came together that we would meet each other. All right. And talking and realizing that we had so much in common, and we both had these situations where we were going through bad times and we could help each other out, and it just butted into something else on top of that. It was so organic. It was something that naturally happened. It wasn't something that was forced in or anything like that. And by the way, it wasn't like, oh my God, she's a starstruck fan of mine, and now she's madly in love with me because she likes my YouTube videos. It wasn't like that at all, okay? It was more like we started talking and we clicked, talking to each other. It was a natural attraction via, having that naturalness rather than someone who's like, oh, I was a big fan of Phil beforehand, and now I'm a starstruck fan who gets to be his girlfriend or anything like that. It wasn't like that at all right? So that being said, without revealing too many details, behind the scenes, starting in the summer, all right, the summer time, I started to see someone else on and off when we had time and when we could make available to be together, because like I said, she doesn't live here. She does not live in Seattle. And she's not always able to come out here to see me, because of circumstances. I started to have this new relationship that really has turned into something really beautiful, okay? But I really kept it a secret. I mean, I didn't even tell you guys about it until, a few weeks ago, but maybe a month ago. I don't think it was a month ago. I think it was a few weeks ago, right? Where I really revealed to everyone that, that I had a girlfriend. And boy, was that tough. It was tough because, me, I got a big blabbermouth and I like to tell you guys everything, right? And man, was it this year in particular, keeping things a secret about what's going on with my ex-girlfriend and that relationship falling apart, and then not telling you about my new, it was real tough to keep stuff secret, but I did my best, right? I really did. Okay. So, that being said, I finally had moral support again. Even though she wasn't able to be here every day, I finally had moral support again, which I needed so much. And you guys may have noticed that I started getting more positive. I started feeling better. I started coming out, right? The streams ended up being even more positive. You may have noticed about middle of this year, all of a sudden, I started to not be drinking all the time anymore. And I started to, even though my sleep schedule was thrown off, it's a lot different when you're talking to someone all night and having a positive conversation and just having a good interaction with someone versus you're all alone and depressed, right? So, that being said, let's start talking about the summer months, because during the summer months this year, I started doing some really fun stuff. For example, I did my Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin run. Honestly, that run that I did on Twitch ended up giving me massive popularity. If you guys aren't aware, it was during that run that I ended up getting hundreds, if not more, regular viewers on a daily basis. I got a ton of new subscribers during that time period. It really was that second run through Scholar, or the second run through Dark Souls 2 with the Scholar of the First Sin added stuff, that people really started turning out for streams and liking my stuff on the regular. And a lot of those people who came out for those streams started coming back. And it was funny. It was actually funny because that Anonymous, who was a stream regular and a moderator now in my stream chat, that was when he started watching, and a lot of people were like that. And now they're become big fans and viewers. And that was awesome, right? The summertime when it was dead and there was nothing really going on with gaming, when I was doing entertaining stuff on Twitch, gave me popularity. And that was a really cool time for me. But if you're not aware, guys, that was also a time when I got more false copyright strikes, right? It wasn't bad enough that being swatted, DDoS attack, false copyright strikes destroying my YouTube channels in 2010, my whole 5-year relationship falling apart and breaking apart because of troll activities and all this stress that caused by it over the year. That wasn't enough. Phil's still here. We got us to get him again. More false copyright strikes against DSP Gaming over the course of the summer. Now, I was terrified because I was with a new partnership company in Curse, all right? And I was very worried that I was going to lose this partnership because Curse has very, very strict rules about getting copyright strikes against your channel and all of that. And they say if you get copyright strikes against your channel, you will lose your Curse partnership. And I knew I had no one else to partner with because everyone else didn't want this negative stigma associated with their company because of these trolls coming after me on a daily basis. Okay? So, yeah, it was terrible. And of course, it was these copyright strikes from Rockstar, which I knew were fake. I knew they were fake to begin with. But it was a bitch getting them cleared up because I basically had to convince YouTube that they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And trying to tell YouTube anything that they're doing something wrong is like trying. I might as well talk to this fucking door to my left here, because the door will respond more often in a positive manner than me telling YouTube, you guys screwed something up and you need to fix it. Okay? In the entirety that I've been on YouTube, almost 10 years, once ever did YouTube respond to me telling them they did something wrong and fix it, and it was this fucking summer. You tell me how this happened, but YouTube actually reviewed the situation and said, oh, you're right. We didn't do due diligence, and it's our fault. These are false copyright strikes, and we're removing them immediately. It was like pigs were flying over my house, volcanoes were erupting, the sky had fallen, hell had become an ice cube. I couldn't fucking believe it, because every other time this had happened to me, right, I had to find my, like, for example, the false copyright strikes in 2015 that forced me to delete videos, right, completely fucked over my business. But here we are, 2017, YouTube actually fixed the problem. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. So, for once in my life, right, I felt like I had won. And just think about how positive I felt. I had a new girlfriend who got me, and I got her, and we felt like we were soulmates. Copyright strikes come across my channel, and I'm able to get rid of them immediately and take care of them because YouTube actually listens for once. By the way, I talked to Curse about it, and Curse said, Phil, we know who you are. We know what you've been through. Under no circumstances will we ever terminate our partnership agreement with you until there's a discussion and we determine that you've actually done wrongdoing. They actually said they will stick up for me because they know who I am and the shit that I've been through. They're not going to just drop me like a hot rock, that if they see false copyright strikes, they're not going to delete my partnership. I was like, oh my God, you know, I was getting all this positivity all at once. It was crazy. And then, like I said, the streams during the summertime were very positive. It was everything was going well. Everything was going good and everything's going perfectly. And I'm like, if only things keep going, because if Twitch kept growing the way that it was growing, I knew that by the end of the year, I'd be making a lot more money. I'd be able to maybe make ends meet, pay all my bills, and even maybe start making extra money, where maybe over the next few years, things could get a lot better and I could stop being in such terrible debt and all these problems going on and everything, right? So for the first time in a long time, I was starting to feel really, really positive about everything. But there's always a twist. So I'll get to that in a moment. Let's do some shout outs, because some people have been doing stuff here. Shout out to Yoichi McCree, who did a $2 tip. He says, majority of the ones who criticize you on YouTube are just crappy commentary people who couldn't do anything creative if they tried. Commentating community is the bane of YouTube. I agree. It's garbage. It's not quality content. It's mostly all negative drama shit for the sake of being like a little high school girl and creating gossip to make money. It's not legitimate. It's garbage content. Mosley at home did a 10-bit cheer and asked personal stuff about business stuff that I'm not going to answer. So there, ignore that because I know exactly who you are, by the way. So thanks for the troll cheer. Nick did a $1 tip, and he asked about, is there a story behind cryptic tweets with 1 or 2 letters in a picture? Maybe one day I'll reveal it, but right now I'm not going to. Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheer, and he says, how do the NR of followers and total views weigh in with Twitch search and getting noticed? You know what? Hold on a second. People are right. No pop-ups are coming on, right? The pop-ups aren't working. People are saying they're not seeing any pop-ups whatsoever. You're right. It's not working. Shit. Okay, hold on a second. I could probably fix that. I'm giving everyone their shout-outs, but I think the reason no one's contributing is because none of the pop-ups are coming up. So I need to fix that. So hold on a second here, guys. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. I think I can fix it on the fly. Hold on. I think I know what's wrong. I think I know what's going on. Okay. Okay. I think I fixed it. I think that inadvertently the pop-up messages have been deactivated. I've now reactivated them, so anyone who does a 50-bit cheer, subscribes, and clicks the share button or tips me $2 or more should now get a pop-up, and I apologize for that. That's why I was asking you guys earlier if the pop-ups were working, and no one really answered. But now it seems like they're working. Okay? All right, very nice. Sounds good? All right. So Atlas Telemon did a 50-bit cheer, and he says, how do the NR of followers and total views weigh in with Twitch search? I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person. I'm relatively new to Twitch. I've only been streaming on Twitch for about a year since I returned, and I don't know anything about how any of the behind the scenes. By the way, I'm taking the hat off for a little bit because my head's hot. I don't know anything about the behind the scenes stuff here on Twitch at all. I don't know. Unlike YouTube, I have a little bit of insight. I have no clue how the Twitch stuff works. So I don't know how my channel shows up in search or whatever. I do know that people come in all the time, though, and they're like, oh, you know, Phil was high up there in the rankings for a certain game that he was playing on Twitch, and he gets new viewers and stuff from that. So, Captain DCW, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Captain. Oh, it's working. I fixed it. There you go. Although, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move it. Hold on. There we go. Now you guys can actually read the messages. Because if I put it down there, it's going to mess with my Twitter handle. See that? There we go. It works. Captain DCW, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Captain DCW, for subscribing. I appreciate that. In fact, now we're up to 324 subscribers. We've reached another new milestone. Thank you, everyone. 324 subs and growing. The most I've ever had. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. And wow, we have over, oh my God, we have over 1,000 viewers on the stream right now. Thank you for sharing your Christmas day with me. I appreciate it. Let's keep going, because people want to hear the stories and stuff. Solid Shock did a 10-bit cheer. He says, Merry Christmas to DSP and all the fans. Merry Christmas to you. Alice Telemon did another 10-bit cheer to let me know the pop-ups weren't working. Thank you for that, because I fixed them. Fluttershy did a 10-bit cheer. He says, can you give Freddie Freeman a shout-out? Sure. Merry Christmas, Freddie Freeman. Cornchi did a 100-bit cheer. He said, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Cornchi. Captain DCW did a 50-bit cheer. He said, testing, and it worked. And Boris Stingy did a 50-bit cheer. He said, where and why did your girlfriend get you a dragon sweater? We actually got this. We were looking all around. For a sweater. And we were looking at different stores. My local, there's a store, the variety store around here called Fred Meyer. They had a few. And we looked at department stores, but honestly, it was weird. The department stores we went to had good ones. Like actual good Christmas sweaters with like nice designs with like reindeer and stuff. I was like, damn, I would like to buy that and like wear that to a real Christmas party and say, here's a nice sweater, you know? This one we found, I think it was Kohl's. I'm not positive. I think we found this at Kohl's. And they had a bunch of weird stuff, like cats and stuff. And then they just had one with a dragon. And we're both looking at it like, why in the holy hell would there be a Christmas dragon? It was so random. And my girlfriend was like, we got to get that one. That one is one of the best ones we've seen. It's just so different, so weird. Why the hell would you have a dragon on a Christmas sweater? So we ended up getting it. And I love it. I love this sweater. It's cool. All right. Oh, now I got a $1 tip from Tevin. Now, who knows if it's the real Tevin, who's a fucking another hemorrhoid on my ass, right? He asks, did you mention Lavaria? No, I didn't. You know what? I should. Because even though that shit actually happened during the whole time when I had partnered with Curse, and I was in the midst of the breakup with my ex-girlfriend, all right? Here's what happened. A company came to me, all right? And they promised me the world. They said, we will give you a managed partnership. We're going to pay you a higher percentage than what you're getting paid with Curse. We want your channels because we see the amount of traffic you get, and we have a relatively small network, and we feel that bringing your channels into our fold will give us way more traffic. And we feel that this is going to be beneficial to us to do this. Okay. And I said, well, you know, basically you're telling me exactly what I want to hear. All right. Now this was about, I believe, I can't remember if it was March or April at this point. I think it was April, but I'm not 100% positive on that. All right. So during this time period, this company, and by the way, they didn't call themselves Lavaria or anything like that. They were some other company I'd never heard of before. Were in contact with me, and I had multiple contacts. I was talking to 2 people there. They were trying to recruit me, basically, promising me, oh, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. For me, the only thing I really cared about was they said they were going to get me a managed partnership right away, and I knew that would be great, because now I could still play Nintendo games and keep all the ad revenue. Nintendo wouldn't steal all the ad revenue from my videos. I would be able to not have to worry about content ID matches. Basically, I'd be in the clear to upload whatever I wanted under a managed partnership, and I would be able to make all the profit off of that, okay? Now, what I decided to do, all right, was I said, here's what I'm going to do. And I did this for myself. I said, I don't know if I could trust these guys or not. Right now, I'm literally not doing anything important with my YouTube channel, KO Gaming. In fact, at this time, remember when I was adapting to this new streaming method where I was focused on streaming exclusively? I decided that I was just going to focus on that and not worry about edited content at all. So my KO Gaming edited gaming channel, edited gameplay channel, edited reviews and stuff went on hold while I was focusing on trying to get my streams to blow up on Twitch. So I said, gee, here's what I'll do. I will test what these people are saying with KO Gaming. And if they do what they promise on KO Gaming, all right, then I will bring all of my channels over to the fold. However, during my plan to do this, they basically said they wanted to prove that I was all in, and they wanted me to unlink both my DSP Gaming and KO Gaming channels from Curse. So I did. All right, I did. I unlinked both channels from Curse, and I took KO Gaming, and I said, okay, KO Gaming is unlinked right away. I can link this to your network right away. Give me the information. I'll link it to your network, and then let's get it into the managed partnership right away. All of a sudden, I get an invite, all right, on this channel from Lavaria Media. And I'm like, who's Lavaria Media? I've never even talked to this company before. So I asked the guy, he's like, oh, don't worry, that's our parent company. And what you do is you partner with them, but we're still going to deal with us. But if you partner with them, then we'll get you everything we promised you. And already, immediately, I'm skeptical. I'm like, this can't be legit. But I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt because I had already gone through the trouble of unlinking both my DSP Gaming and KO Gaming channels from Curse, and I wanted to see if these guys were legit or not, okay? So I did. I linked KO Gaming with Lavaria Media, and I waited 1 day, and I waited 2 days, and nothing's happening. And I emailed these guys. I'm like, you promised me you were going to get me a managed partnership. When's it coming? Oh, don't worry. We're working on that for you right now. 3 days passed. Still, I like, guys, my DSP Gaming isn't partnered with anyone. I'm making no money on it. I need to know what the hell's going on here, because you promised me the world and you're not getting it for me. All of a sudden, I get a completely different response. Oh, well, we're eventually going to get you that managed partnership, but we need to bring you into the fold first, and you need to be with us for months and months so we can build up rapport, and we can say that your channels are part of our network, and it'll give us attention and all of that, and all, you know what I mean? And at that point, I knew it was bullshit. And I said, fuck this. And I went back to the guy immediately. And I said, you lied. I'm done with you. As of right now, I'm severing contact from KO Gaming from your company. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. When you partner now with a company on YouTube, you have the ability to sever the contract with any partnership company. And within 30 days, they're done. Even no matter, regardless of anything you've signed or anything, once you delink your channel, the whole thing is done, okay? So, the reason they did this is because of companies like this that were lying and cheating and rigging people into these partnerships and then never releasing the channels. So, I told the company, screw you, I'm done with you. I don't know who Lavaria is. I never agreed to be with them. By the way, I never signed a contract to ever work with any company called Lavaria Media. So, legally, Lavaria had no legal right to even have a partnership on any of my channels. I had signed paperwork with a different company completely, okay? And by the way, I should mention this. Their contracts were a joke. You could tell the contract they had copy and pasted from another company's contract because there were errors in grammar and there were things missing from the contract that were critical parts of information that I had to have them add in and shit. It was a joke. Basically, they were fake, all right? It was a fake bullshit thing, and luckily, I was smart enough to say, let's just try it with KO Gaming first, because I don't really care about that channel right now. And I did not go forward with DSP Gaming on purpose to see if they were legit or not, okay? So basically, I severed the contact with this company, and I never talked to them again, and that was it. Now, apparently, my detractors at the time decided to do entire podcasts where they brought in employees of Laveria Media and the CEO of Laveria Media, and they said, oh, I never talked to any of those people ever. I never had any contact with any of them, and I never talked to anyone who ever worked at Laveria Media. So literally those entire podcasts and things that those idiots did were 100% illegitimate and a waste of time. So if you watch that, you wasted your time, and shame on you, because you believed their bullshit that they literally made up. I never worked with Laveria Media. The only thing I ever did, KO Gaming, was temporarily for like 2 days linked to them, and then I unlinked them myself because I had no contract and no contact with any company called Laveria Media. Okay. So, there you go. That's what happened with that. That was just another fucked up thing that happened to me during the whole time period of transition between like March to May. By the way, this was all happening again when I was breaking up with my ex, so it was just adding fuel to the fire and more stress for me on top of everything. And then luckily, I went right back to Curse. I explained the situation, and Curse said, all right, we'll take you back. You know, it wasn't your fault what happened. You know, Curse has been great. Twitch has been great. I love the companies, and I'm looking forward to staying with them for a long time. I really do. All right. Shout out to Swag Score, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Swag Score, for the sub. Nick tipped me $1 and says, I bet the company that claims they worked under Laveria wasn't a real company. It was actually a troll who forged your signature or applied to Laveria on your behalf with your information. That's why the contracts were wrong. Maybe. It could be. Scrupula did a 10-bit cheer. Said, Merry Christmas. Sub4Levo did an 1100-bit cheer. Thank you, Sub4Levo. So I've been watching since 2008. I hope 2018 is a better year for you. So do I, and thank you very much for the cheer. Super Blind Man resubbed for the 13th month in a row. Thank you for over a year of support, Super Blind Man. He says, Merry freaking Christmas, Phil. Your top-notch entertainment is a wonderful addition to the day. Thank you very much for your support, Super Blind Man. And guess what? We're now up to 325 subscribers. We're still growing. Amazing. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to Dean, who just tipped me $5. He says, Phil, I think after almost 10 years of doing this thing, the fact that nothing these trolls and haters have done to ruin your business has worked really says a lot about your determination. You're an inspiration to all of us fans. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Dean, and thank you for the tip and the sentiment. All right. Let me get a lozenge, and we're going to continue on with the story, because now we're talking about summer of 2017, because I told you about meeting my current girlfriend, how amazing that was. I told you how I overcame the copyright strikes in the summer of 2017 and how everything was going good with the streaming. But then things took a turn for the worse. So let's talk about that. All right, let me get a lozenge. Hold on. Here we go. Can't get this bag open. Oh, lozenge. Fuck. Complicated. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Holy moly. It's not a cough drop, though. Stinking Baristas, I call them cough drops. It's not. This is a lozenge. I do have cough drops that have menthol in them, but I took one earlier. I don't want to take too many of those because it make my stomach go. Ugh. All right. So, let's continue. Summer of 2017. Everything's going good, right? Copyright strikes, they're gone. I got a new girlfriend behind the scenes. Things are going good. And my Twitch streams are on the up and up. I'm paying all my bills. I'm starting to raise enough funds where it's not an issue. And I'm like, damn, things are really going good. All of a sudden, all right, I start to notice, and by the way, I apologize for the lozenge. It's obviously going to bother. It's going to make me sound weird. All of a sudden, I start to get all of this spam mail in the physical mail, not email. I've always gotten spam emails for my public, email accounts and stuff like that. That's just going to happen. My mailbox is starting to pile up with all this new mail. And I'm like, what is all this mail? What could this be? What is it? It's publications for like what you would send to a company. So, for example, Contractors Monthly, a magazine for a doctor, Golfer's Digest, all things like an athlete would get this, a contractor would get this, a doctor would get this. I start getting, I'm not even exaggerating, every week I'm getting upwards of 50 pieces of mail like this. And the thing that tips me off that something's going wrong, it says on the address, Phil Burnell, DSP Gaming. Now, wait a minute. I have never had a registered business, meaning DSP Gaming, my YouTube channel, even though it's trademarked, I do trademark it, it's never been a registered business. I don't have a business address, okay? I don't have anything like that. So why would I be all of a sudden getting mail that says DSP Gaming? It doesn't make sense. And I've started to realize this is more troll activity. Some troll must have registered me on some business mailing list to get every possible free fucking business mailing possible in the state of Washington. So I'm getting tons and tons of this shit in the mail, okay? It's one thing if it's like one piece a week. No, my mailbox is full after like 3 or 4 days with this amount of junk mail. While this is happening, I start getting tweets, I start getting YouTube comments, and I start getting emails saying, Phil, your days are done. We know that you've been committing tax fraud, and we are going to get you. Ha ha ha. So all this magically starts happening around the same time period. I think we're starting to see a pattern emerge. Okay. So I'm like, well, I think nothing of it. What am I going to do about it? Nothing, right? I just got to go with the flow. And so if you guys remember, through the months of July and August, the summer was slow, but I was able to do things like my Sonic Marathon, right? I was able to do a bunch of stuff that was really positive and really fun, made a lot of money for me, which was great. And then the new releases started to hit in August, and I was playing them, and things were going really good and everything, right? Everything's going good. So then, everything's going fine. Everything's rolling. Everything's feeling very positive and good. All of a sudden, in September, again, as things are going positively, right? As things are going well, in September, I get a letter in the mail. And it's a letter from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Now I'm like, I know about this because when my ex-girlfriend made her business, her soap making business, all right, she had to register as a business in the state of Washington because she was selling physical products. She was doing commerce over the internet for physical product. And therefore, she had to register. She had to pay business taxes once a year. The good news is the business taxes aren't high. Like, for example, I'll give you some perspective. When I lived in Connecticut, there's a state income tax, all right? The state income tax was ridiculous. It was like way too high for that state. The state doesn't do anything with that fucking money that's worth taking that much money from you. It's a ripoff. The business tax in Washington is very low. So, I knew all about the Washington State Department of Revenue. However, when I moved here in 2014, in writing, I even have this in writing. I saved the email on purpose in case I ever needed to bring it up. I had a tax attorney at the time who lived in Connecticut with me, right? Same state. He had always done my taxes for me. He had always filed my federal and my state income taxes for me. And I explained to him, I'm now moving across the country. Should I get a new tax attorney in Washington State? Because obviously that tax attorney would be more versed in the tax codes and things out there in case there are additional taxes and things I need to pay. And he literally in writing said, no, I am able to take care of all your tax needs moving forward. And I did research and I found out that in the state of Washington, there's no state income tax. What you do is unique and it's not considered something that you would have to register as a business for. Therefore, all you need to do when you go out there is pay federal income taxes, period, and you're good. And that's what I did since I moved here in 2014 all the way, until now, okay? So, there you go. By the way, to clear the air here, because a lot of people have misconceptions, my tax attorney in the state of Connecticut was a certified public accountant, was a dean of accounting at a college for several years and was one of the highest accredited guys in the state of Connecticut. This is not some Joe Schmo asshole who I just got. And by the way, I paid this guy thousands of dollars to do my taxes. All right. I think the most he ever charged me was like over $1,500 one year to do my taxes properly. So that being said, this was supposed to be like one of the best guys in Connecticut to do taxes. So when I'm paying him that much and he has that much credit and that much accreditation, and he tells me, don't worry, Phil, I'll take care of you, I trust him. Boy, am I fucking stupid, right? Boy, am I stupid for trusting someone that's supposed to be held in high regard and high respect. Unbelievable, okay? Now, hold on. Some shout outs. Shout out to Retro Jim who did a 10-bit cheer. He says, have you thought about manually playing more ads for Twitch added revenue, say in between matches and fighting games? The bottom line, folks, the more ads you play, the more annoying your stream is. And ad revenue on Twitch is not great. Even if I were to run a ton of ads, I barely make any money. I'd rather just have entertaining streams for you guys than have ads. And the bottom line is, you guys cheer, sub, and tip enough that I don't really have to worry about running ads. That's why you don't see a lot of ads on my streams, okay? Golden goes to the 30. Oh, he said no shout out. Never mind. Whoa. I got a $100 tip from Alcade. And he says, Merry Christmas, my dude. You've been through a lot over the years. I watched you since Web of Shadows. Haven't been able to keep up with the stream since I'm older now. Adulting sucks, but keep up the good work. Thank you, Alcade, for the $100 tip. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Goledin Silence subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Goledin Silence, for the sub. And we're now up to 326 subs, the most I've ever had at once on Twitch here, folks. Very nice, right? Very nice. Okay. By the way, a bunch of idiots in stream chat are spamming. Why would Phil pay Leanna's bill? Why did Phil pay Leanna's hospital bill? I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like you're listening to detractors because you're stupid. Sorry, it just sounds like you're stupid. Because I didn't say I ever did that. Okay. All right, let's continue. So, I get this letter in the mail in September. Now, keep in mind, this is in the midst, the hardcore gaming season is starting up. I'm busy as hell. You guys remember, I was going overtime with streams and everything. I was going real heavy into the hardcore gaming season. I get this letter, all right? I get this letter. And the letter says, we suspect that you are doing business in the state of Washington under the name DSP Gaming, okay? We believe that you need to register and pay state business and occupation taxes. Please answer all of these questions for us regarding you and your business. Now, I get this letter. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I immediately write my tax attorney from Connecticut to let him know that I got this. I answer all their basic questions. Now, originally, they wanted me to fill out all these forms and shit. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can answer this information about how much I made each year or whatever. That's what my tax attorney does. So I basically called the guy, left him a voicemail. We played voice tag for a little bit. Finally, he emailed me. And I said, good. Now we can finally talk and be in detail rather than just fucking doing voicemails and never reaching each other. So I answered all his initial questions via email. Okay. In the meantime, my tax attorney comes back to me and he goes, all right, so what kind of questions did he ask you and all that? And I tell him. He's like, okay, let's see how he responds. So this guy from the state of Washington, he responds and he says, well, it's not clear, but based off the initial information you've provided me, I think that you should have registered for a business in 2014. You should be paying these taxes all along. Therefore, here's this form, register to become a business. And now I'm going to calculate this like, whoa. I am not, I have not dealt with any of this shit. I'm going to turn you over to my tax attorney who's going to handle all this. So I did. I had my tax attorney fill out this information form and everything so that he could communicate with the guy from the state of Washington. This was all going on through September, early October, okay? So finally, late September, I go to my tax attorney in Connecticut. I didn't go to him, but I emailed him again. I said, what is going on? You told me when I moved here that you did the research and you found out that all I owed was federal taxes. What, this guy seems to be really going after me now, okay, for this, what the hell is going on? And he comes back to me and says, Phil, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, I think that you should get a tax attorney in your state because it looks like this guy's coming after you and he'll know better than me. To which I said, that is bullshit, because I trusted you and I paid you to do my taxes properly. And now you're basically just throwing your arms up into the air and saying, oh, no responsibility here, right? Now, the bottom line is, I think this guy knows that he's in trouble. I think he knows that if I were to go after him for this, that he could get into major trouble, because I actually have email correspondence with him proving that he told me that no, he could handle my tax needs in the future, okay? And that he had researched, I even have it in writing. I researched and there's no state income tax, therefore all you need to do is pay federal tax. I have this in writing. However, the problem here, folks, is that legally, all I could ever go after this tax attorney for is, number one, fees, and number two, interest that have accrued on taxes that are considered unpaid, all right? The fees and interest may be a couple $1,000s. Who knows? I don't know yet. I don't even know what I owe yet. I don't know what I owe yet until calculations are done, which is apparently going to take place in January, okay? But that being said, to go to court and sue this guy for whatever the fees and interest is not worth it. It's going to cost me more to actually file the lawsuit and go after this guy, and to the time investment to go to court for years to sue this guy is going to be more than what I'm going to get. So at this point, this guy pretty much knows, oh, well, I fucked Phil, and, I know that he's not going to come after me for it because it's not worth it. And, if I were rich, yeah, on principle, maybe I would go after him, but at this point, it doesn't make any sense for me to do so, because all I'm ever going to get is pay more and do more work and be away from streaming and everything every day that I need to do to pay my bills to try to go after this guy. So literally, this guy gets away scot-free, all right? He gets away scot-free, nothing I can do about it. Giving his information on the internet would probably be considered illegal, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just screwed in that regard, all right? So I went in late September and I saw a new tax attorney here in the state of Washington. And that tax attorney basically told me the following. He said, there's good news and bad news. The good news is your tax attorney in Connecticut always did your taxes correctly for what he actually filed. So when he was filing the state income taxes in Connecticut, he did them right. When he was filing my federal taxes every year, he did them right. So I don't ever have to worry about, oh no, in 3 years' time, now the federal government will come after me to bite me in the ass and say your taxes were done all wrong. Even what this new tax attorney says, he says, no, your stuff was done correctly. Don't worry about that. But, yeah, basically, no matter what, if you're making money, you're going to pay taxes somehow, okay? So even though I don't pay state income tax, at least some of my income should have been considered taxable income since I moved here. And yeah, I should have been paying some kind of tax to the state of Washington. Now, how much of what I make is considered taxable per the business and what isn't, that's what's still under review right now, okay? That's what's still in a state of flux, and I don't know what I owe yet or anything. I'll know, again, by hopefully mid-January, I'll have all this information. But basically, I got screwed. And this guy is now, I'm in a situation where I've been told, all right, it's going to be thousands of dollars. No matter what, it's going to be thousands of dollars. And I'm going to have one lump sum payment that's due at the end of January, and that's going to be the payment for all of 2017. So whatever I make by the end of this year, there's going to be a calculation done. I don't know if it's going to be all of my income or some of my income, whatever it is. A calculation will be done, and I'm going to owe that amount of money due at the end of January, no matter what, okay? Also, I'm going to be billed by my tax attorney for all the work that he's been doing. He's going to make that calculation for me. He's also going to be working with the state of Washington on the back taxes. Now, that means taxes that I should have been paying since mid-2014 when I moved here until the end of 2016, where those were all unpaid and considered overdue. So 2.5 years of back taxes, plus fees, plus interest, all that accrued, there's going to be a big lump there that I owe. Now, what I'm hoping is when I explain to the state of Washington my situation, that I'm literally barely making ends meet, that every month, I'm making minimum payments on a lot of things right now just to make every payment every month. And I'm not in a situation where I have any liquidity. I don't have the money to pay these taxes. That they'll put me on a payment plan that every month I pay a little bit, and maybe it'll be for 3 years, 5 years, who knows? But every month I'm paying these off gradually, all right? And my current new tax attorney now says he thinks he's fairly confident that he'll be able to work with the state of Washington and get them to agree to do something like that, all right? Not 100%, but he's hoping, okay? So we'll see. So that I don't even know yet. And I've actually was told by the state of Washington that that they don't even know when they're going to have that information done. Like, they can't even give me a date. Maybe it'll be January, maybe it won't. I don't even know when the hell they're going to do this calculation and tell me, here's what you owe, and let's put you on a payment plan. So it could spring at any moment. It could be due January as well, but I don't know, because they haven't assured me of any date when they're going to do that work and give me that information. All right. Now, interesting to know, I asked the state of Washington, that initial letter you sent me and you said DSP Gaming, right? How did you get word that I had anything associated with me called DSP Gaming? It doesn't even make sense because I'm not registered as DSP Gaming anywhere. It's just a YouTube channel. And that's when I was told that someone in my name had registered me for the business mailing list for the state of Washington. That's why during the summer, I had suddenly started receiving all of these business mailings in the mail for contractors and doctors and everything. And what the state of Washington does is once a year, it reviews that information. And they had received an anonymous tip that someone was doing business under the name DSP Gaming, and here's your evidence, check the mailing list. So they did, they saw that, and that's when they started to investigate me. So, interestingly enough, right? Interestingly enough, I started getting troll messages during the summer saying that taxes were going to bite me in the butt, and the next thing you know, an anonymous tip comes into the state of Washington, and by September, they're investigating me. I wonder if there's some correlation there. So once again, trolls, right? Even with everything going on, they knew how messed up my life had been. They knew that I had broken up my 5-year relationship. That's not good enough. Phil's life isn't ruined yet. He's not dead. So we got to keep going. Let's just keep fucking going. Let's try to get him on every possible thing we can. Unbelievable. Okay? And that's the situation I'm in right now. Where by the end of the year, not the end of the year, by the end of January, I'm going to owe a big amount of money for the 2017 taxes, whatever they are. I'm going to owe my tax attorney a big amount of money for whatever work he's going to do in January on my taxes, all right, which is probably going to be thousands of dollars because he's very expensive. And eventually I'm going to owe another big payment that hopefully they'll put me on a payment plan for, okay? And it doesn't even end there, folks. I hate to tell you, there's even more bad news, all right? Basically, the good news is you guys have been helping me out recently, right? You've been cheering, subbing, tipping. Tips have been amazing. If this $1,000 tip, I just got a $100 tip. All these tips adding up, and people are helping me out tremendously, all right? And thank you. Because like I said, honestly, I have no way out of this situation. It's not like I can suddenly sell stuff to pay this. I have nothing to sell, and I'm already working myself ragged. Listen to my voice. I'm already working myself ragged. I can't work longer hours or whatever than what I'm already doing. So you guys and gals, your contributions are literally saving my ass. However, I know there's always another however. There's always another twist, right? What I'm nervous about now is that the taxes that I've been paying all this year for federal taxes were based off of last year's estimated income, what I made last year. I can already tell you guys, you guys have been so generous this year that I know I made more money in 2017 than I did in 2016. Guess what that means? I'm going to owe more taxes than what I've paid coming up in April, because I've only paid based off of as if I were going to make the same amount of money, and I know I made more this year. So now I got another big tax payment that's going to come due in April. Oh, by the way, there's this whole new tax plan that Republicans just passed in the United States, and no one's sure how it's going to work yet. I may end up owing less taxes for 2018. I may end up owing more. And I don't know until the actual tax information law gets given out to tax attorneys so that they can do all this work. So, again, it seems to me like no matter, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So, I need to raise money in order to save my ass from these state taxes out of nowhere that came up out of nowhere. So people come out, we're supportive of Phil, let's cheer, let's tip. They do it, great. Now I'll get past the state taxes, but now federal tax. Oh, now you owe more because you made more money. Now where does this money magically fucking come from? You know what I mean? There's always something. There's always something around the bend, you know? And it's to the point where, you know, I love what I do. I do. I absolutely love doing this as a job, but when will I ever be able to just be not in a situation where something else comes up to fuck me? Something else comes up to fuck me. Every turn, right? Everywhere I go, there's something else creeping up. And, you know, I don't know if it's going to, my whole life might be like this. I might be like this till I die, where every single day something else new is going to happen. I don't know. But anyway, that's the situation right now currently with my taxes and everything. So that's why you guys cheering, subbing, and tipping, you've been helping me so much. You have no idea. I'm so appreciative of what you guys have done for me, okay? Now, I'm not done. I actually want to talk a little bit about my future plans, all right? And then I'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll have a big Christmas segment. Sounds good? So, my future plans, all right? What do I have planned for the future? Well, first of all, some people have asked me, Phil, what are your New Year's resolutions? You know, I have 2 New Year's resolutions. I have 2. Number 1, to get through this state tax situation, whatever the federal tax situation might be in 2018, whatever they may be, to somehow get through them and to keep my house. Because I'll be honest with everyone, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous I'm going to lose my house because the only liquidity that I have, I don't have any more credit. I don't have any more credit cards or anything that I could charge anything to. I already have personal loans I'm paying. I can't take out any more personal loans to help me with this situation. It seems like the only liquidity that I have is the equity that I have in my house right now. A lot of people have said, why don't you sell the condo in Connecticut? I tried. Last year I tried. They won't let me because I owe way more on the mortgage than that house. Since I bought that house, it was worth over $100,000. That's what I owe on the mortgage. That condo in Connecticut is now worth $60,000 because the real estate market in Connecticut plummeted. So I can't sell it. I owe more than I can sell it for. Why can't I rent it? I looked into it. I can't find any reliable rental companies in Connecticut. The ones that I found are very shady. Oh, well, we're not registered on the internet, but you could call me and I'll take care of it. I'm like, and the only other rental company that's there I don't like. They actually are the company that deals with that building. And already they do a terrible job with the landlord. They do a terrible job with everything. I don't want to rely on them to rent out my unit because they do a terrible job for me now as an owner. Why would I think they're going to do a good job if they rent the place for me? So I can't even rent this condo. I'm stuck with a condo in Connecticut that's worth shit. I can't sell it and I can't rent it. So it's just draining on my finances every fucking month and I can't get rid of it. The only thing that I have, if I have to pay thousands of dollars in taxes, is to sell my house. This house, because this house has equity in it. I've looked into getting either a second mortgage or refinancing this house, and I don't qualify because I have too much debt in my name. They say your debt ratio is too high. We can't get you to budget for a refinance or a mortgage on your house. So I can't even use the equity in my house to do anything unless I sell the house. So basically I'm screwed. Unless I can make enough money doing this to pay all my taxes somehow coming up in 2018, I'm probably going to lose my house. I don't know what else to do. But you guys have been so tremendously positive. Maybe I can do it. Maybe, with what I'm doing right now in January, it's looking like I'm probably going to be able to have some really fun events and things that people are going to be supportive of and everything. And what I'm hoping is that between all the stuff going on, that I'll be able to pay these taxes and sell and not have to sell my house, and be able to stay here and do everything, the way that I want to. Because that's what I said. I have 2 New Year's resolutions for 2018. The first one is to find a way through this tax situation I'm finding myself in and keep my house. That's number 1. All right. Number 2 is to have my girlfriend move in with me, sooner the better in 2018. Because right now, number one, like I said, it's the best relationship I've ever been in my life, okay? I feel like she's my soulmate. I do. I truly do. And I am in love with her, absolutely. She's in love with me. And if she were to move in, number one, she has a job that she, can probably find a job out here similar or whatever and make income to help immediately. Number two, cooking and everything, helping with the responsibilities of the house so I can get back to how I was. So I'm not constantly overworked and stressed out because I have to rush to cook meals or whatever and everything like that. And number three, quite honestly, I want to be with her. It's killing me to not be with her. Today, this morning, talking with her, and it's Christmas, and we're like, it's our first Christmas together, but not together. It's awful because we need each other. We need that support, and we're not there for each other physically right now, and it sucks. So, the sooner she can move in with me, the better. I don't know. I mean, literally, I can't even think about it until I get past late January with the tax situation. Once that situation is taken care of, then at least I can entertain it. All right. But right now, I'm between a rock and a hard place where unless I can get past the taxes in January, I can't even begin to plan out the rest of my life, which is what sucks. I feel like I'm in suspension. I'm in suspended animation because of the actions of a tax attorney who fucked me over and I have no restitution against, and trolls who fucked me over and I have no restitution against. Isn't that nice? It's terrible, right? But that's my life right now. The good news is, in 2018, if I can make things happen and come together, and maybe my girlfriend can move in with me and I can keep this house, all right? Positive change. Number one, since now I'm going to get back into the swing of things, right? I've already decided I want to start doing stuff that people have been asking me for a while. A lot of people have been asking me for Cooking with the King. Well, guess what? If I start making new meals and recipes with my girlfriend, I would definitely revive the series. Because right now, no, I can't revive Cooking with the King. I don't even cook for myself. When I do cook for myself, it's something quick. I'm frying up a chicken sausage or something quick in a frying pan, it's a rarity if I even make myself any kind of a meal that takes more than a few minutes because I'm in such a rush constantly to get back to work. But if I'm doing stuff with her and we're adopting new meals and stuff, that could be a series. I show you guys the kind of stuff that we're making. It's Cooking with the King returns, right? And stuff like that. That's what I mean. Positivity could come back in a major way if I can, number one, keep the house, and number two, if she can move in. So let's see. My plans for 2018, since 2018 is my 10th year making internet content for you guys, what I'd like to do is a lot of things. I'd like to maybe go back and play some of the best games I've ever played over the years. Some people have suggested Heavy Rain, Mass Effect 2, doing a negative or a evil femshep run through it and stuff like that. Those could be amazing events that I hold as an anniversary special, right? Me going back and watching my old playthroughs and doing reactionary commentary to the stuff I used to do in the past that was a lot more risque, right? Pretty good, right? It could be very beneficial to everything. There could be a reinvigoration. There's things coming up in 2018, for example, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, that could be very, very positive for me. Because those are games that I grew up with, that I have a lot of knowledge of, that I could do well in an online situation, and maybe people will come to watch me play them, right? And I could do tutorial videos about them and stuff. A lot of positivity possible, but I have to get, you know what I mean? I have to survive. I have to survive and get to that point and not constantly be worrying about now taxes that I owe and this and that because of fucking things that people have done to me, So, thank you guys for listening. That was my 2017. Holy shit. What a year. We had high highs with streaming getting better and better, a new relationship that I'm in, but low lows with the amount of trolling, the ad revenue plummeting, 5-year relationship ending, excessive amount of trolling in different departments, a tax situation. What a year. By far, like I said, the most tumultuous year that I've had in my whole life. It's so much shit going on. If anything, I just hope that 2018 can be more positive, okay? All right, everyone. So much time for some shout-outs, first of all. Let's do some shout-outs. Shout-out to Scruff Shark, who did a 10-bit cheer. I said, are you not worried about rushing into another relationship and it could lead into trouble? We love you, man, so we wouldn't want another incident like before. First of all, another incident like before. A 5-year relationship that was ruined by trolls. Okay. The difference is now I know what I'm getting into versus back then. Who knew when I started dating my ex-girlfriend that we were going to have all that shit happen to us, right? Who knew that, income levels could fluctuate, that we would have people swatting us and shit. We didn't know that, and we didn't know the amount of stress that we were going to be under. I don't think anyone could reasonably expect that, because who knew it was a new thing? Being internet popular, internet famous as a YouTuber was a new thing. There was no way that you could predict what the fuck was going to happen. Now at least I have some kind of an understanding, and having conversations with my current girlfriend about stuff, it's so, like I said, there's a difference. There's a soulmate factor there, right? That here's someone who we love each other, we care about each other, and we want to be there during the trying times, versus it was a different kind of relationship that I had with my ex. Let's just put it that way. All right. So you don't have to worry about that with me. The choices that I make in that kind of regard are well thought out. Okay. Thank you to Kane, who tipped me $1. He says, long time watcher and lurker since you played Street Fighter 4 Madness series. Hope you have a good Christmas. Thank you much, Kane. Styles Daniil, Brian, give me a 100-bit cheer. He says, Merry Christmas. Thanks, man. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, sir. Hope you're having a good Christmas, by the way. Haven't had a chance to say hello to you in a few days. Resident Evil Beating did a 10-bit cheer. He says, I think you'll get a tax cut, Phil. I mean, I may. This new tax bill may result in a tax cut for me, or it could flip. I have no idea. I can't worry about it until tax attorneys have the information and start doing work on it. All right. Chewbacca did a 10-bit cheer. He says, oh, how much is your condo rent-wise? I'm looking for a place. It's not. I can't rent the condo because I can't physically be there to do the work to have the condo rented out. It's out of the question. Kovoris did a 30-bit cheer. He says, Cole, Keemstar, drama alert, DSP is officially in love. Do you really think that Keemstar would ever do anything positive in regards to me? He already did a fucking episode about me masturbating on stream and thought it was the most hilarious fucking thing on the planet. I'm sure he would do a positive video to help me out. Like that guy did a fucking positive thing in his goddamn life. His whole fucking existence on YouTube is based off of negativity and drama and sucking the positivity out of others so he can make a buck. Anyway, Black Mage C-Type did a 10-bit cheer, and he says, hold on. If you ever revive Cooking with the King, you got to make your comeback video on Dramatic Pause the Sauce. Well, the thing is, I already did the sauce. I already have a step-by-step video series about the sauce. So no, I would not do Cooking with the King with the sauce. It would be new stuff. Soup Double G did a 13-bit cheer and this stupid message I'm not going to read. Solid Shock did a 55-bit cheer. And he says, goodbye 2017. Let's have 2018 and to be a great year. DSP 10 years. Yes, very nice. Jeff Kim 888 did a 20-bit cheer. Thank you, Jeff Kim. We had a 10-bit troll cheer from Trusty Hobo that I'm not going to read because I'm not going to waste my time. And the Broken Legs also did a 10-bit cheer. And now he's also giving me relationship advice. Like I'm going to listen. So, whatever. All right, folks. It's time for a break. When I come back, it's going to be the Christmas segment. In this segment of the show, I'm going to talk about Christmas. Traditions, things that I've done over the years, things that I used to do with my family, traditional foods, traditional things like that. And then I'm going to open it up to talk with you guys in the stream chat where we're going to talk all about Christmas traditions and stuff like that. All right. So thank you so far, guys. An amazing stream so far. We still have 326 subs, the most I've ever had. Thank you very much for the support. When I come back, it's the Christmas segment. Sound good? All right. About a 15-minute break. Then the Christmas segment. Thanks, everyone. I'll be back shortly.